All right, number 8. We want to compute the simple interest for the given scenario. George borrows $12,000 from his dad for a used car and pays his father back at 3% simple interest for 3.5 years. How much will George pay in interest? I almost don't even know why we compute simple interest. It's usually a compounded interest that we're paying. Well, they do compute simple interest, but it's a little bit more complicated than simple interest. But in the text, they give you the simple interest formula. Okay, simple interest is I for interest equals P, principal, the amount you borrow, R times the interest rate that will be converted to a decimal, and then times T, which is time in years. So in this example, the principal is the $12,000 that we borrow. The interest rate is 3%. Decimal at the back, you're going to move it over twice to convert that to a decimal. So that's 0.03. Make sure you use 0.03. If you use 3, you will get this incorrect. Convert that percent to a decimal, and then times the time in years. So 3.5. You can just as well make this 3.5. We do know 6 months. Well, it's half a year, but you want to do it as a decimal form of years. So 3.5 years. And then from here, you just compute it. So I have a calculator app. In one video, I showed you that you can get a graphing calculator like this for free online. You can just go to online and Google search or search in your whatever browser you use, calculate 84, and it should give you like a web page where you can might have to Google search it and just use a free version of it. This one looks like you can even download them. But let me see if I do a Google search. You can kind of see it. Let's do Google. And then if you just Google search, calculate 84. This first link, I'm doing the same thing. There was one. Let me make sure, looking at the right one. Online. Yeah, do the online version, and then you can open it up, and it's the same as the one I've downloaded. Works everything. So let me move this out of the way, and I'm going to type these numbers in. So I'm going to do 12,000 times the 0.03, and then times 3.5. And we get 1,260 is how much he will be charged in interest. And then number 9, we also want to compute simple interest. It says Alisa invests $11,000 into a 6-month certificate of deposit, and it earns 1.45% annual interest. How much interest will she earn? Okay, so similar. Use the formula I equals P R T. She borrows 11, or she has 11,000 that she's going to put up. The interest is 1.45. Convert that to a decimal, move it over 2 times. So that's going to be 0.0145. And then time in years, since they give it to you in months, you got to convert it to years. So they gave you 6 months, but there's 12 months in a year. So you're going to do 6 over 12, which is 0.5. So it's half a year. Time always has to be in half or in terms of year. So you're going to put 0.5, or you can type in 6 over 12. If they give you days, whatever, if they gave you days as a unit, you would put that number of days over 365, because it's 365 days in a year. So, or these are the standard numbers that we use to estimate or figure out the interest. So we skip and leap years and everything, but whatever they give it to you, you have to convert it into years. Time has to be in years. Okay, so I'm going to compute this and say 11,000 11,000 0.0145, and then times 0.5. If you wanted to, you have a calculator, you can just do 6 divided by 12. It's the same thing as the 0.5. Calculator will do it if you want to minimize any error. So $79.75 would be the amount of interest.